But Bes Hashem, we're continuing Perek Meruba, and we're up to Daf Ayin Aleph Amid Aleph, and we're explaining the Mishnah, the Mishnah that said if you go ahead and you steal and sell on Shabbos, then you would pay Daled V'Hei, right? We would pay Daled V'Hei. We had a brisa that said you potter, so we had a Zetz Ayin. What was the Hechetimsa of Kimle B'Derab Mine that you should be potter? We needed the Mechira and the Chiyav Misa to be Vasachas. We had two Okimtis, either he was picking a fruit at the time of the Kinyan Chalipin, or he threw it into the yard. Rabbi Avi, I saw, Tosfos brings down that it didn't necessarily throw it in, but even if it walked in the front door. So even if it walked in the front door, Tosfos says, but it's mashma you threw, it's Zorak that you threw it in the front door, you know? But you didn't have to, that Metzias there. So Tosfos does say what we addressed yesterday. Now, it said, Gonavit Tavach on Yom Kippur. If you steal and shecht on Yom Kippur, you would be Chayiv Daled V'Hei. Now, I assume that Yom Kippur is similar to Shabbos, and just like you go ahead, and you shecht on Shabbos, you Chayiv Misa, who are in Yom Kippur. But we're told in the Ein Bains, in the Mishnahs in Megillah, Ein Bains, the difference between Shabbos and Yom Kippur is Shabbos is a Chiyav Misa, Skila, with Edom and Asra, and Yom Kippur is Karis. Okay, now, we've been through this. We did Elu Nairis, and we know that with a Chiyav Karis, right? You say, Kam Leib D'Rabmine. We said even a bigger Chiddush, even where there's a Shoygeg, but it's in the realm of Misa, there's Kam Leib D'Rabmine. So again, the Mishnah that says that if you shecht on Yom Kippur and you're Chayiv Daled V'Hei, obviously we hold that you don't say Kam Leib D'Rabmine. And that's what the Gemara is going to address right off the bat. Says the Mishnah on Ayin, the Gemara on Ayin Aleph Amid Aleph, 2 lines from the top. Ganav v'tavach b'Yom Kippurim. You're going to pay Daled V'Hei. Amri Amai. Why are you paying Daled V'Hei? Amri means they said in the yeshiva. Why are you paying Daled V'Hei? Nehi de katala leka. Good, there is no misa because it's karis, but malchus mia ikka. You are chayiv malchus. Again, anytime you chayiv karis, right, with hasra, without hasra, you be chayiv malchus, right? You be chayiv malchus. Edim, without edim. The kaimelon, now, the kaimelon, the eina loiku mishalim, that the kaimelon we paskin eina loiku mishalim. So if you get malchus, you don't pay. So since there's a chi of malchus, guys, it's a chi of malchus, even if you don't get malchus, even there's a chi of malchus for shechting on Yom Kippur, you should be utter from Daled V'Hei. Good, because eina loiku mishalim. Amri Hamani is Reb Meir. Who's the Tana of Mishnah? Or is Reb Meir Daim Elokim Mishalim? Now you might be familiar with this because Baruch Hashem, you have boys and you do Masech Makis, and Masech Makis on Daf Dalid, you have the following Mishnah. Me'idim Onabish Pliny, Shechayv L'Chaver Masayim Zuz. We testify against so and so that he's chayiv 200 zuz to an individual. V'nin Zuz Zaymamin, and you find out that they're Edim Zaymamin, Loiko Umishalmin. They're going to get malchus for loisana b'riachet shaker, right? And they're going to pay for kasha zama. Shalo Hashem ha'mevil de malchus, the pasuk that brings you to malchus, mevil de tashlum, does not bring you to tashlum in 2 separate psukim. So therefore, loiku mishalim de Reb Meir. The chachamim ma'imim kol mishalim and the loika. Anyone who goes ahead and pays does not get malchus. So therefore, the Mishnah that says over here that even though you're getting you get malchus again because there's a chi of kares should be din of malchus, and you're going to pay the Daled V'Hei, is the Shitas Reb Meir. So Reb Meir is the Tan of the Mishnah. Reb Meir is the Tan of the Mishnah. That's to go ahead and explain the case of why if Ganav v'Tavach on Yom Kippur, there is a Chiyuv of Daled V'Hei. So his money, his Mishnah is what is Reb Meir. He who says like a Mishalman. Okay. Fred the Gemara, Reb Meir, Afilu Tavach b'Shabbos. Okay. If it's according to Reb Meir, so I would hold like Mishalman. So I might hold that wad even misu mishalman. So why did the Mishnah learn the case of the chiyuv of Shabbos with tavach, where ganav umachar, where you went ahead and shechted umachar and you sold mashma ganav v'tavach, you'd be part from Daled V'Hei. Of course, you say come late, but 1 second, loit Reb Meir, just like loiku mishalman. Meis mishalman. So l'chera, you could have the Mishnah's Reb Meir. Why did you learn ganav umachar b'Shabbos? You could have learned ganav v'tavach b'Shabbos. The chitema, the obvious answer. The chilik leiku mishalmin islay. Reb Meir holds leiku mishalmin. You get malchus and you pay. Mesu mishalmin leslay, but he does not hold mesu mishalin. So therefore, since you chayiv misa by Shabbos, you wouldn't be able to. You'd be patas kamlei. The hatanya. Very important to get this price down. Gona v'tavach b'Shabbos. Gona v'tavach l'avodah zara. Gona v'shar hanisko. If you shecht you steal and you shecht on Shabbos, or you shecht for avodah zara, or you steal a shar hanisko, which is asa b'hana utfachay, and you shecht it mishalim arba v'chamisha div Reb Meir v'chachamim poikrim. So what do you see? Reb Meir holds l'chayre if you're shechting on Shabbos you chayiv misa. If you shecht two and avodah zara you chayiv misa, and nonetheless what you're going to go ahead and pay, and the chacham say you pata. So Gemara has a good kasha. You're telling me now that the Mishnah is Reb Meir. What forced you to say the Mishnah is Reb Meir? The din of Tavach b'Yom Kippur, because Laiku Mishalmin. Reb Meir does not only hold Laiku Mishalmin. From a brisa was showing that Reb Meir holds Afilu Meis Mishalmin. If that's the case, why did you limit it to Gonav Machar but Shabbos? You could have learned Gonav v'Tavach b'Shabbos, right? And you didn't. So how can you say the Mishnah is Reb Meir? That's the problem. And for the Gemara, Amri bar mine dehahi. Leave out this brisa. This brisa that you just said that you're going to be chayiv to pay for what? For ganav v'tavach b'Shabbos, ganav v'tavach l'avodah zara, ganav v'tavach shanisko. Right? Leave this out. Leave this out. In other words, this brisa is not proof to Reb Meir. Why? The itmar law, because we know what we learned about this brisa. Amr Rabbi Yaakov, Amr Rabbi Yochanan. The imri law, others say Amr Rabbi Yirmiyah, Amr Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish. So the question is, who stated this? Was it stated by Rabbi Yochanan ben Lakish? Rabbi Ovin, Rabbi Loi, V'chol Chavurasa, Mishmei Rabbi Yochanan Amri. They all say, right? They all say that this price is speaking b'toiveach al yidei acher. We're speaking where what? Where you know why you chayiv daled b'hei? Because you didn't shecht it, somebody else shechted it. You're chayiv daled b'hei because you didn't shecht it, somebody else shechted it. So be'emes, there is a chilik, guys. That's fair-ice. Be'emes, there's a chilik between loiku mishalmin umeis mishalmin. So Rabbi Meir would hold gona v'tavach b'yom kippur. Since what? You're getting malchus, therefore you pay daled b'hei. However, gona v'tavach b'Shabbos, you'll be potter because ein misa u'mishalmin. You don't go ahead and die and pay, and therefore it had to be the case of by Shabbos gona v'machar where there was no chiyav misa. Now, how did we avoid that? We had a brisa that says you do pay divrei Reb Meir. That brisa is speaking where one person did this geneva and the other person did a tficha. One person did the geneva and another person did. So the ganef told another guy, "You go ahead, what and shecht. You go ahead and shecht, right?" And therefore, since the ganef is not chayiv misa because he didn't shecht on Shabbos, he pays daled b'hei. So now we're holding good, guys, right? We're holding good. We answered up. Why does he? If he was tavach b'Shabbos, he could be pata kamlei. But since somebody else went ahead and did it, you be what you be chayiv. What's the problem, guys? I tell someone to go ahead to shecht. I'm going to be chayiv. I ain't shliach l'dvar avera. So what do you know by now? By going through Shas 3 times, four times, right? 4 times. Yeah, 4 times. Went through it 4 times. I say this umpteen. How many? There are 3 cases where you say yesh shliach devar avera. Ben she would know all 3. 1, daled v'hei. 2, shlichas yad b'pikadon. That if you shliach, tell someone to be shliach yad. And 3 is mila. With mila, we had that not too long ago. That your moil, but you tell someone to go ahead something. Your moil. So yesh shliach devar avera. Fred the Gemara kasha. How's it possible? You're telling me that brisa is speaking where someone else goes ahead and shechs. Can it be this guy's choyte by shechting the animal on Shabbos, and this guy's chayiv by daled v'hei? Ayin shlich levar avera. Amar shiny hacha. It's different by daled v'hei. The amakra utfachoy umecharoi, and he shechs it or he sells it. Ma mechira al yedei acher. Just like the chira is facilitated through another person. Af tficha al yedei acher. So to tficha even al yedei acher. Certainly, if you shecht it, but even al yedei acher, good. Another source, the Rabbi Shmuel Tana, Oy l'Rabbi says a shliach. Utfachai Oy mecharoi. So Oy comes to include a shliach. That yesh shliach l'var avera. Rabbi Chizkiya Tana tachas l'Rabbi says a shliach. Because they had tachas l'Rabbi says a shliach. Okay, so let's just go reiterate what we just said. Okay. The Mishnah had said, Ganav v'tovach yom kippur yichayev. Yichayev dal v'hei. Fred Gemara, why yichayev dal v'hei? I ain't loiku mishalmin. Says the Gemara, Mishnah is going to Rabbi, who says loiku mishalmin. Right? That you would get malchus. Since you get malchus for being mechal yom kippur, you're going to pay. Fred the Gemara, if that's the case, like Rameya, let's say, why does the Mishnah say Ganav u'machar? You pay on Shabbos. What you can say Ganav v'tovach, you'll pay on Shabbos. Because ostensibly, Rameya must hold just like what? Loiku mishalmin. So too, even when you die, mishalmin, you're going to pay. Says the Gemara. And if you're going to say that chilik, and in the end of the Gemara, we will say the chilik, guys. In the end, we're going to say that chilik. That's the teretz. The teretz is that loiku mishalmin, but if you die, you don't pay. Good. We have a brisa that says if you die, you do pay. Right? It's because it says ganav v'tovach b'Shabbos, you pay dalar v'hei. Again, very, very important to remember that brisa. Ganav v'tovach b'Shabbos, you're going to pay dalar v'hei. Like Reb Meir, why are you paying dalar v'hei? If it must be what? Because Mesa Mishalman, and says, well, no, because that's speaking what another person did the tefillah. So therefore, there's no misa. You're not dying. Another person is shechter on Shabbos, but you are paying dalar v'hei. I ain't shliach l'var aveira. Yom Kippur is one of the few places where we say what yesh shliach l'var aveira along with shlichus yad and meila. Are we good? Rabbi Avi, you have a question? You're reaching there.
Yeah, but by mechira, saying that it involves another person, but you're still doing the mechira. It's different. You know, when shchita, you're doing the shchita, but you know the cow's getting shefted. Mechira, yes, there's a person who has to buy it, but you're doing the act of selling it. I don't know if it's comparable. Doesn't.
Maybe mechira means that if you would have someone else sell it for you. Now Rashi doesn't say that. Rashi says ein mechira ela b'shnayim moicha v'lekeach. So another person, there's a person buying it from you, no? Forget about you selling it. There's a person who's doing an avera by buying it. So he's being mechayev you. You're selling it, right? So the act of selling involves two. So the person's lekeach. You know, it's every mechir is al yidei shliach. I think that's what it means, right? Every mechir is al yidei shliach, right? You're talking about the initiation of it, but even I would explain it this way: since the mechir is involved in another individual, memel it's al yidei achem, because without the other individual, it takes two to tango. I can't do the avera. Perhaps that answers your question.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Good. Anyway, so this computer, guys, this Gemara is packed. This Gemara again, we've had this Gemara, we had it in Eilen Iris. This is a packed Gemara. There's a lot of concepts over here, but Baruch Hashem, like we have the basic shot. We have. Let's go weiter. Maskula Mazutra. Mi gemidi. Is there anything? The ilu of ihu loy mechayev, v'aviv shliach mechayev. Meaning, how's it possible? So I'm Ravashi Hasam Lamishim loy mechayev. In other words, if he would do it. Listen to this, guys. This is a different kasha. I know yesh shliach l'dvar avera. I do know, but you know what a shlichus is? You're doing the same thing I would do exactly. So, if I would steal and shecht on Shabbos, what would the din be? I'd be mechayev misa, right? Good. I'd be mechayev misa, and therefore I'm mechayev misa. I'd be potter from paying dalar v'hei. Yeah. So now you shecht on Shabbos. How can you be mechayev me pay dalar v'hei? You know, as your shlichus is accomplishing more than I could have accomplished. Had I shecht on Shabbos, I'd be potter from dalar v'hei. I'll come labor the Rabbi minei. So now I tell you to shecht on Shabbos, I'm chayev. How can I give you more power than I have? Right? That's the kasha. So yesh shliach l'var avera. You are carrying out your shlichus, but you can't go ahead and do more than I could. So since meaning the person, the ganif, would die if he would shecht on Shabbos. So Mamela, how can I be mechayev dalar v'hei? That's the kasha. Fred the Gemara kasha. Maskula mazutrim miyika midi the ilu of it ihu loy mechayev. If he did, he won't be mechayev. If you of it shliach mechayev, and the shliach doesn't, he's mechayev. Amar Vashi, beautiful teretz, guys. Hasam lav mishum loy mechayev. Who? Not pshat if you shecht on Shabbos, you're not chayev. Ella the kamlev the Rabbi nei. Okay. In other words, fellas, we spoke out yesterday. Pshat Kamle B'Rab doesn't mean that there's no chiyuv money. It doesn't mean that if I'm chayiv misa, I'm not chayiv money. It means I'm chayiv both. But since one's dying, you can't pay. Since one's dying, you can't pay. So in other words, what's your kasha? Shliach can't do more than me. Guess what? I takem chayiv. So my mailer, you also chayiv. I am part of paying. It's a loophole in the system of Kamle, but the chiyuv money is there. Once the chiyuv's money is there, I can go ahead and be money you a shliach on that. Okay, just going to give me 2 seconds. Okay, in the brisa we just mentioned that Rabbi says it's tficha al yedei acher, right? So if another person's shechting, I understand how Rabbi would say yechayev daled v'hei. What's the svar of the Rabbanon of that brisa that says Yipata? The Rabbanon said, Ganav v'tavach b'Shabbos. You would be what? Chayev daled v'hei. Why the Rabbanon say Yipata? If someone else is doing it, why are you Yipata? Fred the Gemara, if it's speaking where the tficha was done by another individual, my time of the Rabbanon the patre. What's the reason that they put from daled v'hei? So Amri man chachamim, who's the chachamim? Is Rav Shimon he? Dama shchita sheina ruya lo yishma shchita. Okay, so let's go over the brisa now. Let's go back to the brisa, guys. Go back to the brisa. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 lines down from the top for Tanya. Ganav v'macha b'Shabbos, ganav v'macha b'Shabbos. Now, so you're telling me that what? You're telling me this is shchita sheina ruya. Well, let's get back to this. We'll get back to this in a second. If I shecht an animal to avoid the zara, can you eat the animal? Guys, no. So is that shchita ein aruya? No, it's a shchita shein aruya, right? It's not a good shchita. Shara nisko. If I shecht the shara that's asa b'hana, is that a good shchita? No, it's shchita ein aruya. Right? What's the first case? If I shecht on Shabbos, is that a shchita aruya? Oh, so that's a problem. The chayre then you should pay what? Daled v'hei. Good? If it's shchita al yedei acher. If you're telling me it's Rav Shimon, and the reason you're potter is because it's shchita shein aruya, in other words, it's not considered v'tavach, then I have 3 cases. I have the case of Shabbos, Shor Niskol, Avodah Zarah, and Shor Niskol. I understand the last 2, I don't understand Shabbos. So what's the Gemara going to answer? We're going to find out there's a Tana who holds, there's a Tana who holds that if you shecht on Shabbos, it's not a good shchita. It's asa. Good? Like that Tana, that's what Rav Shimon holds like. And in Mela, the Brisa explains why you potter. Who's that Tana? Says the Gemara. You said Rav Shimon. The Amar shchita shein aruya shma shchita. Ami. Bishleim avodah zara v'shar niskol shchita shein aruya hi. El Shabbos, shechting for Shabbos, shchita aruya hi. It's a good shchita. Ditnan. Hashoichi b'Shabbos u'b'yom kippurim. Afal pishem eschayev b'nafsha, even though you chayev misa. Shchita like sheira. So you see that it's a good shchita. So why would they hold that what? That you don't pay daled v'hei? Since it's done al yedei acher, and it's done on Shabbos, and it's a good shchita, and it's Rav Shimon, it's a shchita ruya, so you should pay daled v'hei. Yet the chacham say you potter. I don't understand your teretz according to that. Amri said, "Bnei yeshiva savi lo Rabbi Yochanan Asandler." Okay, we're gonna have a 3-year machlokes, and Rabbi Yochanan Asandler is gonna hold that what you can't eat it. Memela, if you can't eat it, it's a shchita shein aruya, no difference than shara niskol and what and avodah zarah. Then hamevashel b'Shabbos. Someone cooks on Shabbos. Is over nisa deraisa. B'shoigeg, if he does it b'shoigeg, yoichal he could eat it. B'mezid, if he does it b'mezid, lo yoichal he can't eat it. And other people could, he can't. The Reb Meir, Reb Yehuda Omer, it gets more severe each person. B'shoigeg yoichal he could eat it. However, that's dafka b'motzei Shabbos. B'mezid lo yoichal elamis, he can never eat it. He himself can't eat it. Rabbi Yochanan San lo Omer, b'shoigeg achol motzei Shabbos. La'acherim v'loiloi, he can never eat it. B'mezid lo yoichal elamis, loiloi v'lo acherim. So why do you see like Rabbi Yochanan San lo? If you were toiveach on Shabbos, and obviously it's speaking where you're a mezid, no one can eat it. If no one can eat it, it implies a shchita shein aruya. Memela, very geschmack. You would be chayiv because you'd be potter from daled v'hei because there never was a tficha. There never was a tficha. Okay, let's go back to the brisa now. Let's stick this pshat in. Again, 9 lines from the top. Vatanya. Ganav Shabbos, Ganav Tavach Avodah Ganav Shar Nisko V'Takel Mishalem Abar B'Chamisha. The Remeya. Why are you paying Daled V'Hei? Because Yesh Shliach L'Dvar Aveira. There's no Chi of Misa. Since there's no Chi of Misa, and you shit, you Chayav Daled V'Hei. The Chachamim Pleitrin. The Chachamim say you pata. If it's not Dafka Yidei there's no Chi of Misa. There's no Kamle. Why are you pata? You should be Chayav. The answer is because this is Reb Shimon. Why does Reb Shimon hold? Reb Shimon holds that a shchita shein ruya lo shma shchita, so you part from daled v'hei because it never was a shchita. Says the Gemara, I understand it by avodah zarah, I understand it by Shar Nisko. What about Shabbos? We're going according to the opinion of Yochanan Sandla, who says that you even once you do something b'meis on Shabbos, you can't have enough from it. So he was speaking about bishul v'uadin shchita. So it's a shchita shein ruya memela. That's why you pata because there was no chi of daled v'hei. Now the Gemara just digresses to explain the shita of Rabbi Yochanan Sandlo. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and digress and explain that shita. Okay, explain the shita of Rabbi Yochanan Sandlo. Says the Gemara. My time to Rabbi Yochanan Sandlo. What's the reason for Yochanan Sandlo, who says that if you do it in Mezid, you can never have enough from it? I don't know. I said yeah. You can't eat it. I don't know what's asabah. No, I think you can't eat it. I think you could have enough. Reb Chia, a piska de beinasia. Reb Chia was dashing this on the opening of the house of the Nasi. It says ushmartem es Shabbos ki kodesh hilachem mechalel mos yumas. Some of you should keep the Shabbos ki kodesh hilachem. It's kodesh for you, and mechalel someone who profanes Shabbos mos yumas. So the Torah goes ahead and makes a hekesh between Shabbos and kodesh ki kodesh hilachem. Ma kodesh asa b'achila, just like kodesh asa b'achila, af ma'aser Shabbos asurim b'achila. So to ma'aser Shabbos is asa b'achila. As I said, my kodesh asa b'hana. You might think that what af ma'aser Shabbos asa b'hana. So in other words, let's say you cooked on Shabbos, you won't be able to feed it to a dog. Talmud Lema, it says by Shabbos lachem, kodesh lachem, and we dashin mat shalachem yehei, that it should be yours. So therefore, even though it's asa b'achila, it's still mat mutter b'hana. Now, Yochel, might think afilu b'shoigeg. Once it says kodesh lachem, I might think even b'shoigeg you should not be able to eat it. Talmud Lema mechala mas yumas amati lecha b'loy b'shoigeg. In other words, when did I say this? When mechaleha, when maishumas, when you chayv misa, only b'mezid. So the whole pasuk that makes the hekesh between Shabbos and kodesh is speaking in the hechetimsa of the end of the pasuk mechaleha maishumas, which is mezid. Mashenkin, if it's shoygeg, then this kodesh hilachem, the hekesh is off, and therefore you will be able to eat it. So the Talmud Rabbi Yochanan Sandla is this hekesh the kodesh and dafkin the hechetimsa of man of mezid. Okay, very good shema. Says the Gemara right there. Now, pligi bar Ravach and Ravina, they argue in the Talmud Rabbi Yochanan Sandla. Ravach and Ravina, they argue in the Talmud Rabbi Yochanan Sandla. Chadamar Ma'aser Shabbos deraisa. This is deraisa. Chadamar Ma'aser Shabbos derabanan. This is derabanan. Mandi Amar deraisa kidamaran. We have a pasuk kodesh yilachem. We make a hekesh between Shabbos and kodesh in hechetimsa mechalayim asyumas. Umandi Amar derabanan. The one that says it's derabanan amakra. The pasuk says kodesh he. What does he mean? Who kodesh vein ma'aser kodesh. Shabbos itself is kodesh, but what? But it's ma'aser of the actions you do on Shabbos is not. Okay, so you have machloikas. We don't know who says between Ravina and Ravacha. So one is holding Rabbi Yochanan Sandler's din is a din de Rabbanon. One says din de Raisa. Who said what? We don't know. Says the Gemara right. The Pishlein Madiyam de Raisa you learn from the pasuk in the Hekesh. To Wamid Beis. To Lahachi Patre. That's why he's pata Rabbanon. That's what Rabbanon pat him from Daled V'Hei. Why you put him from Daled V'Hei, guys? Because there never was a tficha. Because it's shchita shein aruya. But Elman Yom Rabbanon, Amai Patri Rabbanon. Why the Rabbanon? Since the Raisa, it's a good shchita. You should be chayiv Daled V'Hei. Guys, let's firize. Guys, look at me. Eye contact. Let's firize the Raisa. The Raisa said, if you go ahead, you shecht on steal and shecht on Shabbos, you chayiv Daled V'Hei. The Chum said Yapata. We had three cases: Shabbos, Shar Niskal, and Avodah Zarah. Good. Clearly, Shar Niskal and Avodah Zarah, they're Raisa. They're out. We understand it's a shchita shein aruya. They're out. With Zetzing Ayin, according to the Chachamim, that Mishnah is according to Reb Shimon. It's according to Reb Shimon. The Chachamim there is Reb Shimon. That Shchit Shein Aruya. So we said we got a problem. Shabbos is Shchit Aruya. Says no, Shabbos is not a Shchit Aruya because Reb Shimon holds like Rabbi Yochanan Sandla. If he holds like Rabbi Yochanan Sandla, the Shchita on Shabbos is b'mezid is asa. You can't go ahead and eat it. For the Gemara, that's good according to Man Yom. It's the Raisa. Like the man the Rabbanon that you could eat it deraisa, so it buys a shchita ruya. If it's a shchita ruya, why you pata from the olive hay like the chachamim? Right? Why the chacham say you pata? On that first case Shabbos, it's really a good shchita. It's the Rabbanon in nature that what you can't do it. Why does the Gemara answer? That in a pata, he wasn't going back on all three. It was only going back on Avodah Zarah and Shor and Niskol. It was not going back on Shabbos. Ain't nachanami Shabbos, you be chayiv dal v'hei. Shabbos, you be chayiv dal v'hei. Says the Gemara. Elamandi amad Rabbanon amai pachi Rabbanon. Why the Rabbanon? Meaning Reb Shimon. Why would he pat to you for dal v'hei? It's a good shchita. After the Gemara Shaira, it's going on Avodah Zarah Shor and Niskol. Good. For the Gemara of Reb Meir, amai mechayiv shoichel Avodah Zarah. Okay. Now, guys, there's a akdam over here. We'll see. Really, it's tomorrow night's sugya, but for all intents and purposes, this machlokes is the following: Yesh l'shchita mitchila b'ad soif, or ein shchita el b'soif. In other words, after you finish the shchita, do you go back and say it began from the beginning, or do we say you always go after the end? Many nafkaminas in halacha. So apparently over here would be once you began to shech, like the mandiyama yesh l'shchita mitchila b'ad soif. If you began shechting, so you had to avoid the zara part. You did. So it says the Gemara the following: Amay mechayiv shoichet avoid the zara. Even the shachet but porta. Once you shechted a little bit, you were over avoid the zara asa. It's now like zivchei mesim, right? It's the lashon avoid the zara. It's zivchei mesim, shechting for mesim. Idoch, when you go ahead and finish the job, isuri anochu. Already it's asa bahana, right? V'loy demari katabach. And you're not shechting what? You're not shechting yours. In other words, when you stole something, at the point you stole it, it belongs to somebody. The tvichas belongs to somebody. If it's hefka, or it's asabana, I mean, so the kasha is like Reb Meir that you're telling me that someone's shechting something, so therefore he's doing the avera, and therefore that's pshat. Why you be chayiv dal v'hei? Why by the Zohar would be chayiv dal v'hei? At the beginning of the action, right? You asked it bahana. Memela, when you finish the action, right? You weren't shechting anybody's. Memela should be pata. Okay, so look at Rashi and Taisus. Let's see Rashi and Taisus. Says Rashi, second line down. Even the shachav of purta itzra. It becomes avodah zarah, sifchei mesim. The Gesal Kedaitach, the Gemara is Havamina is Yeshna l'shchita mitchila v'ad soif. The shchita from the beginning of the process to the end. Umitchilasa nesra, and therefore at the beginning it becomes asa mishum sifchei mesim because of avodah zarah. Ulinyan tashlum b'dalav v'hei, it says utfachoy the kula beinin and you slaughter it. It means the end. Kidamin l'kamon ki gomala. Lav demari katabach. So when he finishes it, he's not going ahead and he's not shechting anything. Shekvar ivdami menu kaidem shkita. The nesra love, it was already lost from him. It's like he threw it in the fire. Kaidem shkita. The mishalim kerem keif v'suloi. In other words, guys, let's say the following. Guys, outside, eye contact. Let's say we go ahead. He'd steal the animal. He would take the animal and throw it in the fire. Would it be chiyav dalav v'hei? The chiyav dal v'hei is only when there's a shchita, correct? So why is this different? He begins yesh l'shchita mitchila v'ad soif. When he begins the shchita, he asks it for avodah zarah. The chiyav dal v'hei only happens over here. So it's like he didn't shecht it at all because of why? Because it's us, but it's not his anymore. It's totally gone, right? It's totally gone. Why does the Gemara answer? And for the Gemara, there's a Taisus over here. Taisus wants to say even the man yama ein l'shchita el b'sayf. You have time. You look at the top places, but so you have the kasha, guys. You have the kasha. Okay, let's do the kasha one more time. It's amazing. I can feel the level of silence on the Zoom even when you're muted. In other words, you think you're muted, it's all the same level. It's not true. I'm able to be margish a level of muteness and clueless because I can read faces. Okay. It's geschmack. Guys, you're telling me the following. We had a brisa. This all goes back to that brisa, right? If you shecht on Shabbos, if you shecht b'avodah zarah, if you shecht ashar niskol, says Reb Meir, yechayiv dalav behei, yechayiv misa, you're not chayiv misa, because somebody else is doing it. Comes back to Rabbi the following. You're shechting on to avoid zara. Okay? In the slaughtering process, as you go down the line, let's say you're beginning at 1 and you're ending at 10. At the point of 1, it's like this animal is asa b'hana, like this animal is avoid zara. It's not. In other words, it doesn't belong to the ganef. He stole it. It doesn't belong to him. It belongs to no one. At the end of the process, that's when the chiyuv d'alav v'hei takes place, because it says utvachoy, you slaughter it. So by the time I get to point 10, it's not here anymore. If it's not here anymore, how can you have a chiyuv d'alav v'hei? It's like you took it and threw it in the fire. Okay, what's the Gemara's teretz? He made a tanai that the whole thing, the shechita, should only be to the end. So in the middle of the chiyuv of avodah zara and d'alav v'hei happens simultaneously. Says the Gemara Amar Rava. The Gemara Zvicha, he says that the Gemara Zvicha who of the I'm only serving the avodah zara when I complete the severing of the veshet, the kind of a veshet, the trachea and the esophagus, right? The two simonim. I'm only doing that at the end. Since you're only doing that at the end, and so the chiyuv of d'alav v'hei and the chiyuv of avodah zara happen simultaneously. Therefore, there would be a chiyuv d'alav v'hei. Fred the Gemara Shor Niskal Isuri Anoninu Lav the Mari Katavich. Why, like Reb Meir, even though somebody else is doing it, so there's no chiyuv misa, but why is there chiyuv d'alav v'hei? Since the shara niska has no value, guys, it has no value. It's asabana. Can the owner of this animal have enough from it? Guys, you can't, right? So it's valueless. So it's like shechting a stone. It's like shechting. Why would there be a chiyuv d'alav v'hei like Reb Meir? Where's the chiyuv of d'alav v'hei? That the animal's asa b'hana. So where's the chiyuv d'alav v'hei? So the Gemara is going to come up with an ukimta. Okay, here's the ukimta, guys. If I would give an animal over to Avrami Weinreb to watch, and Avrami, we know Avrami is a very diligent shomer, so he goes away for Shabbos and he leaves the shar in his front yard. He drives away, he leaves the shar, right? And now the shar goes out and does damage, right? Comes back, the cops have the shar. And they say this shar did damage. They go to Bezdin. Bezdin paskins that this shar what is mechuyev misa. Okay, shar niskal. I come to Avrami. Avrami said, "Where's my shar?" Avrami says, "Unfortunately, it became a shar niskal. But guess what? Here it is anyway. Is Avrami yotzes chiyuv of hashava?" And the answer is yes. The answer is this shar is valueless except to one person. The only person that has any value to is Avrami Weinrib. Because Avrami Kitaina, Hari Shalach Fenecha. You gave it to me, here it is, right? The Hezek is Ein Nika. There's no distinct difference in the shar. It's the same shar. So to Heshi Jankelowitz, to David Adler, to Rabbi Avi, to Yankel, to Ari, all the person you know this morning on the Friday, give a shout out. It's valueless, nothing. Avrami Weinrib, it has value. It's a dava hagoyrim lamamin, because if he didn't return this shar, he's going to have to pay money for it. So very geschmack. Since that case, it has value for that person. Again, he's speaking. The whole Gemara is speaking about ukimtis, guys. You're zetzing on ukimtis. By shar niskal, you're zetzing and I do. By avodah zara, you're saying it's an ukimto where he stated that the avodah zara shouldn't be in the beginning; it should be at the end. And the case of what of Shari Niskal is an ukimta where you gave it over to a shaymer. Let's see it inside. Amarava, hacha mayaskina, kigoyin shemasul l'shaymer. I gave it to Avrami Weinrib. Behizik, bebeis shaymer, and it did damage when in the house of the shaymer. Behuad bebeis shaymer. Literally, it became a muad in the beis shaymer. I have a problem with this, fellas. To be a Shari Niskal, even a tam gets killed if it kills somebody. Even a tam gets killed if it kills somebody. So once you're dealing with a shara niskal, obviously it kills somebody. So Baruch Hashem, I found the art scroll quoted the Shita Mekubetzes in the name of a Shita Yeshana that you take out the word vahuid. You take it out because again, huad din betam. The same thing would by a tam. V'nig badina bebeis shaymer. And why it was in the house of the shaymer there was a gemar din for Misa. Remeya Sobala Kreb Yaakov, the Sri like Kreb Shimon. Sovla Rabbi Yaakov Damar, Af Mishnanig Madina Hichsiru Shaimer Lebailam Muchser. So Rabbi Yaakov's of the opinion that again it's not a universal opinion, but Avrami could give it back to me. Avrami could give it back to me. So if Avram can give it back to me, then it's a dava garim lemamin. B'savla Reb Shimon dama dava garim lemamin is kemamin dami. Ditnan Reb Shimon oimer kodshim shechai b'chiyusan. If you sit on an animal harei alai to bring as a carbon, meaning if you don't bring this one, you have to bring another one. Chayiv, right? If someone steals it, right, he's chayiv to bring another one. Alma dava garim lemamin is kemamin. That something that is garim lemamin. If someone steals a kodshim from the house of the Bailim, if the Baal is B'Kabbalach Rayas, he said alright, he's chayav to pay kefil. Now, even though guys, usually you're stealing a carbon, guys, you're stealing a carbon. Why you chayav to pay kefil? And the answer is because this carbon has value. It's good. It belongs to Hegdish, but for me, it's a dava garim lemamin. Because if I don't bring this one, I'm going to have to bring another one. If I don't bring, I say I'm going to bring this animal. It's kodesh. You steal it. Why you pay kefil? Yeah, you stealing kodshim. What's the answer? If you hold dava hagorim l'mamin is kemamin dami, this animal, if I don't bring this one, I'll have to bring another one. So who adin by the shomer? If you don't go ahead and return this one, you have to return another one. Okay. So those are the okimtis. Amrav kahana miras l'shmaitz kamei the Rav Svid min adoi mimatzis mukmas mastis and kreb meya v'lei kreb Shimon. How can you say the Mishnah is speaking like according to Reb Meya and not Reb Shimon? V'katani sefer Reb Shimon paita b'sheni elu mechal b'kul mastis and moida. Okay, so now go back to the Mishnah. Go back to the Mishnah on Daf Ayin. Go back to the Mishnah on Daf Ayin, guys. Skip down till Ganav v'Tavach b'Yom Kippurim. Good. Ganav v'Tavach b'Yom Kippurim. You're going to pay Dala v'Hei. Who's that according to? Reb Meya, right? Guys, that's according to Reb Meya? Say yes. Yes. Remember, that's according to Reb Meya, who says Loikum Mishalim. Ganav Mishalav v'Tavach u'Machav achkach Beisaviv. Ganav v'Tavach achkach Higdish Mishalim Tashlum Yabar v'Chamisha. Okay, so now that's our Mishnah. Okay, now what about the Brisa? What about the Brisa? The Brisa says, let's go back to the Brisa on Ayin Aleph. The Brisa says, 9 lines down, Ayin Aleph from Aleph. Gonna v'tavach b'Shabbos, gonna v'tavach l'Avodah Zarah, gonna v'shar niskol, tochem v'shalim bar b'chamisha, divrei Reb Meya v'chachamim paitrim. Okay, so you're telling me that light the chachamim why you pata? Because it's Rav Shimon, right? You're telling me that this is Rav Shimon. Now, in our Mishnah, Rav Shimon only began speaking at the end, right? Rav Shimon only began speaking at the end. Rav Shimon he goes to speak at the end. So now, he says you pata by chulun b'azara, and you be pata if you find it a treifa. He says you pata b'chulun b'azara, he says you will go ahead, Rod, and it's a treifa. So let's see one more time. So Amar of Kana. I'm Russell Shmaitz Kamei Rav Svid min Adai. I told him the sugya according to Rav Svid, and he asked me Moses Maslisan. We said that you shept on Yom Kippur that you chayev arba v'chamisha Reb Meya, only like Reb Meya, but like Reb Shimon. You said not like Reb Shimon. You said and in other words, again, I bought the Mishnah and I shouldn't have bought the Mishnah, and it's just going to make things a little funny because it mixes the Mishnah and the Brisa. So in the Brisa it said, Reb Meya says Yichayev Dala V'Hei, and Reb Shimon is the Chachamim that you pata, because it's a Shkita Shein Aruya, correct? It's Shkita Shein Aruya. Where did Reb Shimon say, Reb Shimon begin talking? At the end of the Mishnah. So says the Gemara the following. Reb Shimon pointed b'shnei elu. He pata by treif and shoichel. Mechlal de v'kulam asnis and maida. It's mashmi's maida to the whole rest of the Mishnah, meaning even when you would teveach on Yom Kippur, he would be maida. That you be chayiv dala v'hei. But you told me that it's a shchita she'ein ru'uya. You told me that what? That it's that late, right? So how is it possible that you setz ein the chachamim poitrim? Okay. Let me go back. In the Mishnah, it said gonav v'tovach b'yom kippur that you be pata. Good, you'll be pata from the Aleph Behei. We said it's speaking according to Reb Meir, who says like Mishalim. Good. And the last case of the Mishnah, Reb Shimon says, in the last case of the Mishnah, he patas he patas in those cases. Good. Mashma, he goes ahead and he's moida by Tavuk for Yom Kippur that you'll be chayiv daled v'hei. But you're telling me now from the Brisa, the Rabbanon that pata is Rav Shimon. So you have a problem. In our Mishnah, it's mashma, Rav Shimon agrees, because he only opened up and said by Treifa and Chulin Bazara are you pata, because it's Shrita Shenaruya. Mashma by Shechta on Tovach and Yom Kippur, he would agree that you chayiv daled v'hei. That's the ratio. Mashma is because he only said these two cases. Mashma, he didn't in these two cases. Yet you're telling me now in the Brisa that the Chacham that pata for shechting on Yom Kippur would be what? Would be Rav Shimon. Would be Rav Shimon. So the Gemara wants to know, how do you go ahead and figure this out? Okay, going to talk Shabbos, going to talk right? He said Shimon pata in this case by Shkita Shenaruya. So the Gemara wants to know the following one more time. How can you say it's speaking according to Rav Shimon, right? It says Gana v'Tavach Yom Kippurim is like Rav Meir alone, who says like a Mishalem. It says, but when it says in the Mishnah, it says in our Mishnah that Rav Meir he'd be moida that if you go ahead and shech Yom Kippur, that you would be chayiv. Mechal de'chul maslisin moida that you'll be chayiv. Daled v'hei. So you have a problem. From the Brisa, it's moida, it's a shchita shenaruya, and you'll be pata from daled v'hei. Right, and from the Mishnah is mashma that you be chayiv daled v'hei. So the way Rabbi Svidi says, don't make the diak mechal dem moida betavach umachlu full klavim. Right. Pirish. Rav Shimon's not going on the whole Mishnah. Rav Shimon, when he said moida, he's not moida to the whole Mishnah. On those cases, in the look at the Mishnah again. Look at the Mishnah at the end of the Mishnah. At the end of the Mishnah, you bring a few cases. Gona b'tavach l'refua or l'klavim, hashoichi v'nimsa treifa, hashoichi chulin b'azara, mishalim tashlum abba v'chamisha, Reb Shimon poite b'shnei elu. In two of these latter cases, he patis. In two of these latter cases, he patis by treifa and he patis by chulin b'azara. In those cases, what? He's pottering. In those two cases there, he's pottering, right? But we can be, so what's he moided to? Not to the whole Mishnah. He's not moided to the earlier part of the Mishnah of Yom Kippur. He's moided if you shecht for klavim or for refuah, that would be okay. Again, you brought four cases, klavim, refuah, chulim bazara, and treifa, right? So you wanted to say Reb Shimon's moida, he's patas these two, that he's moida to these two and the rest of the Mishnah as gun of the tavach yibichayiv daled v'hei. No, he's not speaking about gun of the tavach Yom Kippur at all. He's only speaking about these latter four cases. When he said he's moida, it's only the latter four cases, not the whole Mishnah. So Hitaka would disagree also by tavach u'machav Yom Kippur that you'd be, according to Rabbi Meir Chayiv, because like in Mishalim, he would pata. He would pata. Okay, it's very, very involved. Ukimta dika Mishnah. Baruch Hashem. Again, so Rameya, the Yisrael that our Mishnah like Mishalim, if you go ahead and shecht on Yom Kippur, like the Chachamim, ain't like Mishalim, you'll be parted there as well. We brought in a brisa that said Shabbos, Avodah Zarah, and Skila. Shabbos is like Reb Shimon, like Rabbi Yochanan Sandla. It's Shrita Shein Aruya, because Shabbos and Avodah Zarah and Yom Kippur are all out. Why by Avodah Zarah are you chayiv? L'chayra, the Avodah Zarah began over here, and the Chiyuv of Daled V'hei was over here. Right, and therefore it should be not a good tefillah. The Gemara answers that it's speaking where you said that avodah zarah should not begin until over here. And what about Shara Niskol? Shara Niskol is worthless. Says the Gemara, we're going according to the opinion of Yaakov and of Shimon. Rav Yaakov says that Shara Niskol, if the Shoim is watching it, he can return it, even though it became a Shara Niskol in his rishus. So still it's worthless. Says the Gemara, it's dava garem l'mamin. Since you could return it and be chayiv yedin v'shava to the person who gave it to you, for the shomer it does have value, and therefore what there's a fee of daled. We should have a good Shabbos. Let's say a couple